Hi, my name is Jenny and I'm a single mom. I'm here to tell you a story that I've never told anyone before. It may shock you, it may make you angry, and it will probably upset you, but my words are important, and I want you to listen to them without judging me. Listen to me the way God listens. I can hear what you're thinking. God, you ask? What could I know of God? I don't even go to church. Well, I'll tell you one thing. I know that God loves me no matter what I do. I know that God says that's the way we're supposed to love each other. So, can you do that? Can you hear my words the way God does? Please try, because the story I'm about to tell you is just not mine, but the story of thousands of women who truly need the love and guidance that a church home offers.
I was raised in church. I went with my parents every Sunday morning and evening and every Wednesday night. I loved Sunday school and the messages I was taught there, and I truly believed them. But when I was 12, something horrible happened to me. My older brother's best friend raped me. You will never know the pain I went through. I couldn't tell my parents, couldn't tell anyone. All I could do was ask myself, what did I do wrong? I felt as if it were my fault, that I must be a horrible person and unworthy of being loved. I knew that what had happened was wrong.
I was so ashamed.
I
Felt like I must be the worst person in the whole world. I spent the next 3 years suffering, feeling as if I had no right to even breathe. I wanted to die. I thought about suicide several times. I stood in the bathroom with a bottle of sleeping pills in my hand and thought I could just take these, go to sleep, and it would all be over. But I knew that was a sin, so I held on and suffered in silence. Something happened inside me, though. I tried to hide it from the rest of the world, but I couldn't hide it from myself, even though I tried. So I changed inside. I had no pride in myself, felt that I was totally unworthy of being loved.
I'm not sure you'll understand how degrading the experience was. I really felt worthless. Nothing in my life that was worth anything, because I wasn't worth anything. Then I met John. He was so sweet to me, and he loved me. He truly loved me. I might have felt worthless, but he treated me as if I wasn't, and he loved me. Worthless me. At least I thought he did. I was so in love with him. At least I thought I was. Maybe I was just in love with the idea that there was a boy in my life who could care about me, even with all my flaws. Well, you can imagine what happened. I wanted to make him happy. I wanted to feel loved, but all I got was pregnant. Then I was in real trouble. My parents asked me how I could do this to them. To them! Then they threw me out of the house. I went to John, just knowing that he would be there for me, and he laughed. He actually laughed at me. I went to some of my friends from church, but all of a sudden they acted as if I had the plague. Now what? I asked myself.
That was a horrible time in my life, and there was no one to turn to. A friend from school talked to her parents, and they took me in for a little while until I could find a place to stay. I quit school and got a job at the local grocery store. I suffered the humiliation of seeing my church friends whispering behind their hands about me in the checkout line. As I got bigger and bigger, my feet hurt so badly from standing all day. I thought, how did this happen to me? I'm only 16. I should be enjoying life right now, not working to support a baby. I found some help through the government, and when it came time to deliver the baby, I went to the hospital alone.
I was so scared. I needed a friend so badly, but I felt that neither my church friends nor my family loved me anymore. And why should they? After all, I was such a worthless person. Then I looked into the face of my son. He was so beautiful. I couldn't believe that he was actually mine. He would just love me. I knew it. And he does. Times have been hard for us, but we've made it. We're both survivors. But I'm getting off the topic. I took my son home to my small, almost empty apartment, vowing that I would give him a life and that I would never, never turn my back on him.
And I've done that. 2 years ago, I got my GED. He will have the things he wants and needs. But there's something missing in my life. I don't admit it, wouldn't admit it, because I'm not weak. I'm a survivor, and I'm proud of it. But deep down, I know that there's something that I need that I'm not getting. I need to be accepted for the person that I am. I learned the hard way that I would never find that in any church, but the need is there all the same. I went to church a couple of times after my son was born. That was a real joke. Everyone was so busy staring at me that they couldn't even pay attention to the message. I felt like a tiger in a cage. I wanted to roar at them, ask them what they were looking at, but I was too ashamed. So I stayed away after that.
Made new friends and made changes in the way I looked at things. I no longer feel that I'm worthless. I've made mistakes, but then doesn't everybody? I'm not a child anymore, and I will never put myself in that position to be judged like that again. I need others in my life who love God the same way I do, but I don't need them if they think I'm not good enough. If they feel that way, they're hypocrites. God has been my strength. He was there for me when no one else cared.
I know him. He is my friend. He gives me the strength I need. But I'd like my son to learn the values I learned as a child. What I don't want him to learn is that it's all right to judge people or to turn your nose up at them. That's not what God teaches. Jesus says, "Let he who is without sin cast the first stone." Are any of us without sin? I don't think so. I don't need to be judged, and neither does my son. What we both need is love, pure and simple, unconditional love. What I need is a church home where I will be accepted, a place where the members will not remind me of my past mistakes. God doesn't remind me of them, so what gives people the right to do so? Are my needs unrealistic? Probably, but they're mine, and I'm not willing to compromise. So now you've heard my story, and I'll tell you again that my story is the same as thousands of other women like me. We're not bad or evil. We don't feel that church should forgive us. After all, the sins we committed hurt us more than they'll hurt the church. What we need is acceptance, love, and to feel that we're part of a community rather than shunned by it. Those things give us hope and reassure us that our lives can be better. So can you listen as God listens? Can you love us with the same acceptance He does? I hope so.